Hi there, this is Jillian Aversa. If you're a composer who likes to collaborate with vocalists, or you would like to start doing so, this video is for you. I'm going to share some tips on how to effectively communicate the sound you want to capture from a singer's performance. To do this, I thought it would be fun to show you 3 different examples of what many consider cinematic singing styles. We'll use the exact same melody and instrumental to compare and contrast these styles. Now, sometimes a collaborator will send me reference tracks for inspiration and guidance in terms of what they want our song to sound like. This can be very helpful. Other times, they describe how they want me to perform using words like powerful, emotive, emotional, or cinematic. The tricky thing about adjectives like these is they can be used to describe many different sounds. They aren't specific enough. Even if the actual sheet music is exactly the same, how the composer describes a performance can make all the difference. So, I picked 3 of the most common styles I'm asked to sing in, which I'll call ethereal, classical, and ethnic. To be clear on that last one, it's a little bit of an awkward word, and I definitely don't mean for it to be offensive. It's just the word composers most commonly use when they want to hear a certain edge or flair. When I sing in this style, I'm not trying to imitate a specific culture or ethnic group. It's just my own style I've developed over time. So with that out of the way, let's start with the ethereal style. This one usually uses little vibrato and is often on a generally softer dynamic, like piano to mezzo forte at its peak. It can be up front, or it can be mixed into the background. Overall, ethereal is very flexible, which is probably why it's my most commonly requested style. As you can see in this nifty little Venn diagram I made, there are a bunch of more specific adjectives composers can use when they want to hear this kind of singing, like breathy, airy, light, soft, or even gossamer. Okay, now let's hear it. Okay, so you've heard an ethereal example. Now let's listen to the same exact melody and instrumental, but with another cinematic singing style, which I'll call classical. Compared to the ethereal style, this one sounds more powerful and upfront. There's more vibrato, and it's usually not subtle, even if the dynamic ranges from pianissimo to fortissimo. Of course, not all classical singing sounds the same. In early music, it can be very different with little vibrato, but I had to call it something. Anyway, some of the words composers can use to describe the upcoming example are classical, operatic, more vibrato, and rounder tone. Like the ethereal style, classical can also sometimes be called pure or elegant, but the former terms are a bit more specific to help distinguish between the 2 styles. Okay, so let's hear classical. You can hear how this type of classical performance really takes center stage. It's not the kind of thing you would usually want to mix into the background. Finally, there's the ethnic cinematic singing style. When composers use words like piercing, intense, tribal, guttural, Slavic, or world music, I can usually tell that this is what they mean. It can be distinguished by the use of brighter vowel sounds, more like a or lay or hey, as opposed to ah or oo. It also uses a powerful dynamic and less overall vibrato than the classical style. I frequently sing with straight tone, then sometimes I'll add in a little vibrato at the end of a phrase, depending on the overall context. So let's hear the ethnic style now, again with the exact same melody and instrumental. unlike the classical style, this one can actually be mixed into the background if we wanted it to be, giving it the feeling of a distant cry. I did this on the Halo series soundtracks, for example, sometimes even in combination with ethereal choir vocals on the same tracks. But you can certainly mix this style front and center too, depending on the mood that you're going for. Okay, now let's hear all 3 cinematic singing styles back to back with no talking, but we'll overlay some effective descriptive words on top. So there you go, 3 different styles for the same music. Now, just because these styles are all distinct doesn't mean they can't be combined and interwoven, even within the same song. There are obviously many more singing styles than ethereal, classical, and ethnic out there. There's jazz, pop, EDM, Celtic, rock, boy soprano style classical with straight tone. I just chose these 3 because they're the most commonly sought after for cinematic effect. But if you want to see and hear more styles like this, let me know in the comments. Anyway, thanks for watching. And composers, best of luck with your vocal collaborations. I'll see you next time.